Hello, it's Tuesday, August 27th, 2019, and welcome to our daily market analysis for the Philippine Stock Exchange. And for those who are new to our page, welcome, guys. And in this page, the objective of our objective is just to clearly share what we know about the stock market, at the same time share with you how we analyze the charts of your favorite stocks based on the two indicators that I would normally use. And what you see on your screen right now is the Bollinger Band indicator and our RSI. So we only use two indicators to analyze the potential movement of your favorite stocks. And also, as a best practice, I would normally recommend that you guys watch the video. Let's say now, if you watch the video, that's a good one, but in case you're not able to watch it live, this video is also recorded that you can visit on our page. At the same time, because normally our live session lasts for an hour, sometimes a little over an hour. So what I recommend is for you to also follow our YouTube page. And in YouTube, I am Miss JD. And I'm going to show you how I would normally do this, because every day that I facilitate live sessions, I would also study my analysis. So let us say whatever insights I have today, I will go back to it tomorrow, right after the market closes, and I cross-reference to understand whether my analysis the previous day was actually correct. And the best way to do that is I would go back to my video using my account in YouTube, because in YouTube we have the ability to make sure that you okay, we have the ability to adjust the playback speed. In here you can increase the speed so you can finish the entire video at a much faster time. So go ahead, if you like, you can also replicate the best practice, and if our insights are correct, then you can apply it in your virtual trade or in your live accounts. Okay, so those are the best practice that I would normally do on a daily basis. And true enough, those good analysis that we have done before, I apply it in my actual trades, and they're working. Okay, so let's say hi to our friends here. Who do we have? Okay, let's see. I'm not able to scroll up further, but I see Ricky, Redmar. I will also add your requests. So AGI for Redmar, now for Ricky. Okay, so Redmar is asking, why do I always use Bollinger Band and RSI? Redmar, there are a lot of indicators available, and we all have the option to actually choose what we are more comfortable in using. But so far, I find the Bollinger Band really easy, and at the same time RSI. So RSI plus the Bollinger Band, if you combine that properly, you will, as for my profile, I will be able to determine easily when is the next reversal. And also it aids me in identifying whether the momentum is still ongoing or we're about to end a certain momentum. Okay. Now, hopefully in the future I will be able to also share like a mini tutorial on how I use my Bollinger Band when I trade, because there are a lot of strategies that we can apply just by the use of Bollinger Band. They're like trading within the Bollinger Band, or trading when a Bollinger Band is triggered on the upside, those things. But in case if you have the time, you can also find a lot of informative videos in YouTube. That's also how I learned in the past. I just watched available videos and tried them in my virtual trades. And RSI is also one of the best indicators that would give you an idea whether a stock is already oversold or overbought. When you say it's oversold, it's really cheap. Overbought is starting to become expensive. And once you reach these areas, then potentially you are about to face a reversal soon. Okay, those stuff. Good afternoon, George. Good afternoon, Jen. Meg, Ali, LHC. Let's add that. How are your trades today, guys? And TBGI for Julie. Fan. Yeah, let's add that. And that's for Helen. Good PM, Gabriel. Hi, Fritz, Dane. Vita for George. Let's check that out. George, MBT, FLI, and Fen. MBT, FLI. And okay, we already have Fen. Let's see. JFC from Lesiram Joseph. Alco from Wiki. ISM from Joel. Okay, there you have it. So let's start with PXP. In this, the first set of stocks that we are going to review were taken from the initial invite we posted earlier today, like an hour ago. So thank you to those who have replied very promptly. Your requests are going to be discussed first. PXP. By the way, are you okay with a black background, guys? All right. Okay, so what I can say for PXP right now, it's really starting to become really expensive. We are reaching the resistance here. Oh, and let's see how it pans out on a weekly chart. Okay, so notice your volume. So we are in the weekly chart, guys. So we might not see the retracement happening right away, but we're expecting for that to happen anytime soon, especially because there's a there was a gap down, and I think what the market did here is that it just filled the gap, because this is actually the nature of a stock. When a gap down or a gap up happens, it fills that gap. Sometimes it happens the next day, or it might happen in the coming weeks. And this is what for me happened here. There was a gap that happened, and the market consolidated, moving just within the range, and then filled that gap. Now it's time for a possible retracement for this stock. And where do I see the next possible support or an area of focus for all of us here? So this used to be a resistance. It became a support, right? Now, when it did a gap down, what will happen here is that it might rest right? Almost on the same spot. Okay, so the key area to watch out for is your 9.95 area. Okay, but let us see on the daily chart this time. Another key area to watch out for would be your MA20 line, because an MA20, what you see on my screen in the Bollinger Band, I just used the default, and the red line here is the moving average in the past 20 days. And normally, you can use the MA20 as an area where you can watch out for, and that will be your possible bounce area. Okay, and next is tech. Down. RSI is going down. Okay. So I'm thinking we are about to face. Okay, so you are already, just for the past how many days, this stock has been moving just around the oversold area. And ideally, when you say oversold, that's the area where people should think that it's already in a cheap level. But the market, okay, so the market is not ready yet for a reversal in the past few weeks. Actually, the decline started happening back in May. But what I can say here is that we are nearing that level, okay? Because what I can see here is that when the price continued to break down, your RSI now is giving us some signs of reverse movement or bullish convergence. So if you want, yeah, you can already test out this area, and you have to also remind yourself, if you want to get in the stock, you have to identify your profile. Are you a trader or are you an investor? Because if you are a trader, if our analysis, right, if the market moves against our analysis, or then that should be invalidated. Okay, now what are you going to do if the market starts to, or the price starts to move against our favor? Then just set your stop loss area. And ideally, key things to remember, you have to make sure you don't put everything in just one stock. You have to divide it, and just for my play or my profile, I would normally divide it into 5 parts, so that for every stock I engage in, I only allot 20% of my portfolio. Do not put everything in one stock, because a 3% of your portfolio can be very hurting in the pocket, right? So let's say you only put in 20% of your portfolio, and if it declines by 3%, at least it's not that much of a loss. So if you're in it as a trader, then 3 to 5% I think is a tolerable number for a possible stop loss area. And that is just my profile, okay? So it depends on you have to also reflect on what is your tolerable stop loss area, an amount you can easily say goodbye to in case the market moves against your analysis. The next one is MRSGI. Okay, we're now moving. We're actually near the support area for MRSGI. So if you're interested in this stock, actually this is a perfect time where you can start accumulating volume, meaning number of shares. See that it landed almost on the same area, started moving up, and it landed again on the right, almost at the same spot. And while it did that, what happens here on your RSI. Straight line, landing on the same spot, but RSI starts to move up. Okay, you're at a good area now for MRSGI. And Joe said, good PMM, PIP, please can you recommend a good podcast, audiobook about trading? There are a lot, Joel. Let me just look for them offline and I'll share the links to you. Okay. VUL for Grace, let me add that. Next is AEV. Guys, please comment if you're okay with the color of our background. I would use the white background before so that I'm, consistent in my theme. White, a lot of whites and a lot of pastel color just for consistency. But this time around, I think we're changing the look. Let me know if you're okay with that. AEV. AEV is still giving us some downward movement. It actually hit the resistance, which was your MA20. So in a downward movement, your MA20 acts as your resistance. However, when the stock is in an upward trend, it acts as your support. Okay, so what happened here is that it reached the ceiling, which is the MA20, and then it goes down again. So I'm thinking we're not safe yet. It might potentially go down further. So what I can see here as possible areas to watch out for would be this level, which is consistent right here, your lower Bollinger Band. At the same time, this area was hit multiple times in the previous months. So you can wait, all right, if you're interested in this stock, just wait a little longer. Hopefully in the coming days, this area will be reached and then you can test it out and buy in this area. Next is PPG. For PPG, we also have let us check, okay, because I see this as a resistance. Now, 1, 2, 3, okay, and this is the fourth. Now, your previous resistance can potentially act as a support now, right? So, or if that gets broken, your next possible area to look out for or watch out for would be your MA20 line. So I'm just plotting them for you guys. And just for definition purposes, a support is like the floor, okay? When a price hits that level, it's like the price bounces back up. And a resistance is like your ceiling, that when a price reaches that level, then it goes back down again. So those, just by merely understanding those key areas, you will be able to understand the movement of the prices in a stock. Now, so let us say tomorrow this gives us a good bounce, then you're good. However, if that breaks down, then your next possible area to watch out for will be your MA20 level. Now, I have shown this several times, but I'm also going to show it today. I'll check other areas of possible bounce. So I'm going to use the Fibonacci retracement here. So this is the lowest point, and this is your highest point. Color Try this. Well, okay. Let's check out. Okay, so we're actually close with what we've plotted. We have to plot it near the body, okay? So body to body. The body in the lower level and the body at the highest point here. So we're just slightly above it, but that will actually be because remember when we plot a line here, it does not exactly mean 6.31. It's an area. Okay, so what we have here is that these are the key areas that the price can potentially bounce. Okay, so your 0.236 area was broken, right? 0.382 was also broken. Now, your last chance is the 0.5 and 0.618. Now, if these two areas are broken again, then you have a confirmed downtrend. So let's just hope that PPG will just give us a good bounce in the coming days. Okay. Just take note, if you want, you can do a screenshot of this stock and then have a closer look or monitor the price movement, especially in those key areas that we've plotted. And CHP. For CHP, I'm not very confident with the movement of CHP. Looks like this is going to give us some further retracement because it broke the MA20 line. Now, the next price that I will closely monitor will be this level. Okay. And one. Okay, let's also plot another line here, which was the previous resistance of the stock. There you go. So these are the key prices, key areas to watch out for. Okay, your previous resistance can potentially act as your support, and then if that line gets broken, your next area to watch out for will be 2.58. The next one is ECP. Black is much better. Thanks, Vicky, for validating. Yep, it's, cooler on the eyes. I prefer white, but whatever works for everyone is fine with me. Although one thing that I, just for consistency purposes, so most of the time the color that we use is white because I want to achieve a minimalist effect on the page. But maybe I can ask you guys to vote. Let's see. Okay, wow. Is this a ceiling play today for ECP? Let's measure this. It reached, oh yeah, 49.88. Good job to those who managed to enter at this stock. Let's see what was the news about this stock. Quarterly report, 12 days ago. I don't really have any idea why there was a massive movement for this stock. And as always, being, I'm the conservative type in terms of playing this stock because number one, speaking for myself, I do not have the time to watch the market movement every minute in the morning. So this is not my game, but for those who are interested in playing this game, because uh, tomorrow it might give you some retracement, but who knows, it will be like this one, KPPI, where it gave you a chance to move up for 3 days before it went down. So my recommendation for you is on the first 30 minutes of 30 minutes after the market opens, do not enter yet, because I think I forgot what their term was, but there's a term that the experts would use. So that's the most volatile time when the market opens. Now, if you're not a momentum player, you might have a difficult time um, playing that kind of game, because you really cannot tell whether you're already at the resistance area, you're buying it at the resistance area or not. Now, if you are, so given that you wanted to play this, because we cannot really say that this is still going to go up further, because based on what I experienced, when you have a massive movement like this, there are really two things that can happen. It can give you a retracement, or it can continue to climb up further. So the best recommendation is play this on a much faster time frame, around 5 minutes or 3 minute time frame. Then just observe the market and still following the same indicators. The rule applies when you use the RSI and Bollinger Band as your main indicators. Applying it in a daily time frame, in a 3 minute time frame, or a much faster time frame, they mean the same. Okay, so just make sure you enter near a support, sell it near a resistance, and when it bounces, try to plot your Fibonacci retracement area so you can watch out the key areas for a potential bounce. So, good luck for those who are interested to join or to buy this stock, and congratulations to those who were able to get in and who were able to take profit. Okay. AGI. AGI is, you're already in the oversold area, but here's the interesting part. So we're already at below 30 level. Okay, so we have in the short term, okay, price is moving down. Price is moving down over here, and your RSI is moving up. So, and also you have a doji here. Normally, doji would give you some signs of reversal. You're close to a possible reversal like this one. Okay, another one here. Doji candles. Doji candle. Doji candle. Okay, a doji is like, a cross. It opened at that price and closed at that level as well. So it's possible that we are nearing a possible reversal. Now, how big of a jump, we do not know. We might just see some very nominal improvement or increase in the price in the coming days, because sometimes it would. So like this one, goes up, consolidates, goes down. You can also have something like that, goes down, consolidates before it goes up. So those are the possible movements. Now, for now, Let us see what happened. Oh, another good play. Wow. Many people must have saved their money and poured them in today. There was a gap up. What's the news? I'm opening the news right now. Let us see. Hmm. Something to do with the fourth player. Fourth telco. Now Telecom is collaborating with Singapore-based group, which is investing 1 to 2 billion to roll out a fiber optic cable network in the Philippines. Its local subsidiary, Philippine Fiber Optic Cable Network. Okay, so possible partnership with a Singapore-based company for a fourth telco spot. So probably that was the reason why. So same recommendation for those who are interested in, was it ECP? ECP that had a big jump today. Yeah, and did I review AGI? Okay, so same recommendation as what we mentioned about ECP. So if you would like to play now and ECP tomorrow, make sure you use a much faster time frame and make sure you enter within the support area, okay? And when a stock is moving above the MA20 line, take note, your MA20 line could be your possible bounce area or plot a Fibonacci retracement, okay? Yep, Darrenson, I'm talking about now, right now. Now, right now. The next one is Meg. For Meg, what do we have here? Meg is creating a support in the area where it is right now. So if you are interested in this stock, let's see. Yep, actually this could be okay. So here's the thing. Maybe what we can do here for those who are interested in this stock, wait for a green candlestick uh, to appear, hopefully tomorrow. And that candlestick must have support, or the lower price must be around this area as well. So a green candlestick tomorrow or the coming days would be perfect for your entry. And second hint that we now have a good spot for a buy is this. We are already in the oversold area. When you say oversold, by default, we use the 30 line here, and then it ended below that, so that means it's oversold. And from there, you can enter. Next one is Ali. For Ali, okay, I'm thinking it will still consolidate in the area where it is right now. Okay, so we moved up here, and then hopefully it builds, or it gives us a support around this level. Because look at your, okay, landed on the same area, but your RSI is slowly moving up. So I have a feeling it will consolidate in the coming days, and then it will eventually go back up again. Earnings is good. So this is Ayala. I think your timings Timing is going to be perfect. Just wait for that green candlestick to form in the coming days. I hope it doesn't gap up, otherwise you will not be able to maximize. We will not be able to maximize our profit. But we cannot really tell sometimes if the stock is going to go gap up or gap down. All HC. LHC is still triggering the lower Bollinger Band, and I don't see any signs that this stock is slowly gaining momentum to form a possible reversal. So you may stay away from this stock for now because it's still going down. This is where I am going to monitor. Even slightly higher than that is fine. Around that level will be my possible support. Okay, slightly higher than that is fine. For as long as your RSI is now going to give us this kind of pattern. Okay, should go slowly go up. And next would be TBGI. How does TBGI look like today? So it's triggering the upper band. So hopefully this will still give us another good ride tomorrow. Volume, there's still volume. So next possible resistance here is this level. Okay, just watch out for that area. But if you are still interested in this stock, your risk to reward ratio is, let's see here, for you to gain 5.22%, your potential risk here is here, up to here. So that means you have higher risk than a possible profit. Now, if I am to play this, I will have to wait near the MA20 line. In that way, if I put this, okay, let's say I enter here, and then let's say, even just up to here, a 9.41% possible profit, and then I just allot a 3 to 5% stop loss area around this level, then your risk to reward ratio is better compared to this type of setup. Okay, so if you can wait for it to retrace because it has already been moving up in the past 4, 5, 6 days. So I'm sure this stock will eventually rest. Next is FEN. How does FEN look like today? FEN might reach your MA20 line, so let's use that line as our possible area of focus or area of support. Okay, so this used to be the resistance, and this also used to be a resistance, but it got broken when this stock did a gap up, and then right now I'm thinking it might rest for a bit. Hopefully this line is not going to break down, and if we have a successful bounce, so this is a good area to enter. Next is Vita. This one is for George. Oh, engulfing candle. So this green candle is engulfing the previous day, meaning this is a much higher and bigger candle compared to this day. So I'm thinking, hopefully, George, we're just near the oversold area of Vita. So if tomorrow, I'm thinking we are now about to face a possible bounce for Vita, but we are not 100% sure if it will go all the way up. This might just give us a few moves on the upside. Let us say it reaches our imaginary resistance, which is our MA20. Okay, this will act as our resistance. Now, if, for example, you entered around this level with 1,000 shares, 1,000 shares here, how do you lower down your cost average without having to spend some more money? Okay, so what you can do here is enter around the support area, around here. Enter near support. Okay, so you enter near the support around this level, and then just be conservative with the play. And for example, you want to try out and see if this line, so if you have another confirmation that this area is just a bounce, it's not a breakout play. If it just bounces to the downside, then you take profit. Let us say if you have 1,000 shares here, you sell X% of shares in the resistance area. Okay, how can I change the color? Change this to white. Sell X% of shares. So now X% is identified by you. Because what happens here is that, of course, if you purchase it at around 1.41 and you only sell it at 1.23, then this is already going to be a confirmed loss on your end. But the beauty is that this is just a tolerable loss, so that it can make way again for a possible purchase at a much lower price. That is, if you can confirm, if you have some signs that this is just going to be a bounce. But if it is going to be a breakout, that's why we need to check first. If the price starts above it and closes above it, then you can say, okay, this is now going to be a breakout play, and your previous resistance can now potentially act as a support. But if it gives us a bounce and then continues to go down, then we have a different story. If it and then go down, something to this effect. Okay, for example, from here it moves up, bounces here, so this is like the area where you can sell. Let us say I bought 1,000 shares and I'm only willing to let go and lose some funds in my 300 shares. So I sell 300 shares here, and then I wait again around this area near the support, and I'm able to purchase it at a much lower cost. Technically, whatever loss that I have here when I purchased it, I can already take advantage of a much cheaper price. So I think it's just a win-win game over there. Now, your 1,000 shares, you still have 1,000 shares here or even more, and your average price would be, I just use this cost average calculator. What will happen here is, for example, not this one. This one is in dollars, but I can just use it in peso terms. You shares bought, let's say 1,000 shares. How much did I buy it? At 1.40 level, for example. 1.40. Now, I sold the 300, right? And then I repurchase it at still at 300 shares. So this one now, this one will become 700 because I sold the 300, but I purchased it here at 1.23. My new cost average now is 1.34. it will no longer be in the 1.40 level. See that? I did not do any cash outlay, but using my original funds, I managed to get out of this trade with a slight with a small amount of loss, but I repurchased it. Now, at the end of the day, I still have how many shares? I still have 1,000 shares. But look, my average cost now is just 1 peso and 34 cents. Please disregard the currency. See the difference? That's how you can manage to lower down your cost average without having to spend some more money. You just have to make sure you take advantage of the swings of the prices. When it's near the resistance, dispose a few shares and then wait for it to go down again and purchase it at a much lower price. Let's talk about MBT. For MBT, let's check out MBT. MBT is still, giving us some bearish signals. We might see some more downward movements for MBT. And let's check if this price gives us a bounce once it reaches this area. Okay. This could also be a support level, but we still cannot tell yet. Tomorrow, if it starts above this area, then and most of the action happens here, this is a good area to buy. But if tomorrow the price goes lower than that, the next possible area to watch out for would be this level, the 70 level. All right. Next would be FLI. FLI. Short-term bullish divergence while the price was just, oops, cancel. Okay, no. So this was moving up while this price was moving down. So this is just a short-term bullish divergence. Okay, so if you want, you can observe. Make sure the next few days your price starts around this level and most of the action happens on the upside. And with that, we can say this stock is just creating is just consolidating within the area. But if the price moves lower than that or moves lower than that tomorrow, then we can say the downward movement is not yet over. All right. The next one would be alcohol. So don't forget, guys, while I wait for the chart to load, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Miss JD. Okay, that way you can watch our videos over and over again and study whether our findings or our insights are actually correct and applying the best practices in your trades. Now, for Alco has just triggered the lower Bollinger Band. And with this, it means that, and look at this, your Bollinger Band moving average line is also pointing downwards. No signs of reversal yet. So I'm thinking we might see some more downward moves. But look at your weekly chart. So hopefully this is just resting at the MA20 area. Okay, so maybe what you can do here is observe what happens around this line tomorrow. Okay, around this area tomorrow. If that area gets broken and the price does not end higher than that, then you might still have some more downward moves. But if the price goes or ends higher than that, then we have a possible reversal or a possible bounce at the MA20 level. The reason why I did not plot it there is because let's see if it's possible. Yeah, around that level, 0.85 level. Okay. Next one. And by the way, we're looking at the weekly chart. Every candlestick here would mean 1 week. Okay. So for those people, because of course our target audience in this channel are the newbies. Okay. When do we know that it's a green candlestick or it's a red candlestick? When a price starts at a high level, okay, and ends it at a much lower price, then you will end up having a red candlestick. Now, why do we have a stick here? So that only means that a price moved up and down, but not higher than this level. It moved mostly on the downside, and then at one point it reached this level, 0.83, but eventually managed to climb up further and ended the price at 0.87. That's how you have. That's how you ended up with a red candlestick. On the other hand, a green candlestick is formed when your price starts in this lower level or lower area, let's say at 0.85, and most of the action happened above it. Now, at one point, do you see this tiny or very slim stick? That is a wick. At one point, the price reached that level before it ended with slightly lower, which is at 0.97. That's how you have a green candlestick. Okay. Next would be ISM. For ISM, let's see, we have actually a support in this level. 1, 2, 3, 4. It was reached that. This was also accounted because at one point price reached that. So you are actually in the support area for ISM. And that's in the weekly chart. I remember one time I was able to mention this, that we might potentially experience once again the 4 peso level. I think around August 23rd. Yep. But let us see. Hopefully, this stock will give us some signs of reversal tomorrow. A green candlestick. Hopefully, we end up having a green candlestick tomorrow, and then that will confirm the support, and that will be a good level where you can add some more shares. The reason why they're negative here is because this stock is involved in the third telco, and they had a lot of acquisitions left and right. Okay, so this stock is now owned by Denisoy in the Philippine Stock Exchange. They did a backdoor in ISM. So anything that's related to ISM is also a Denisoy projects. Next, VUL. For VUL, on a weekly chart, we have a good bounce. Okay. Yep, if you want to get in for VUL, actually this is a good timing. So there wasn't really much volume yet. Okay, I'm sure people will start to show interest in this stock in the coming days. But I'm just going to show you, of course, as per our Bollinger Band, we're looking at this level or even this level as a possible areas for our support. Yep, the 1.22 level. That could be a good area, so area to look out for. The next one would be now. Oh yeah, we talked about now earlier. There. So as I mentioned earlier, so this is not really the stock that I'm comfortable engaging in because we are already at a very high level. And if you're interested in uh, trading this stock, make sure you use your faster time frame. Okay. And if you're also using the indicator that I use, just the same concept. MA20 could be a bounce area in an uptrend, but in a downward movement, your MA20, which is this red line, could act as your resistance. So just be very extra careful. And I think the reason why it triggered a bullish massive movement today, and I would assume that that was because of the news that came out. So just have to read the news here. Okay, I think they're going to partner with a company based in Singapore for some improvements in their services. So that could be a reason, but be very extra careful with now. Okay. And hi, Alex. Thanks for joining. And I think that's it. Thank you guys for joining our live today. Don't forget to subscribe to Miss JD. And if you want to maximize your learnings from this session, watch it now. Then, of course, trade the market the next day and then go watch it again tomorrow. And I suggest you watch it in our YouTube channel because in YouTube, you can adjust the playback option. You can expedite or increase the speed. Increase the speed over here so that you can finish the 1 hour session at a much faster time. Okay, so see you tomorrow in our next live session. Bye-bye.